Welcome to Verbal Pick Radio, where we give you a verbal image of life, and we are every day. People like to welcome you all to the show. Special thanks to A-Tone Production and what it's doing as far as the editing and making sure when we do our videos, they look as quality as possible. This, as what we're seeing in the present, with the riots and the looting and the protesting, the symbolic picture of a white officer with his knee on a black man's neck, which is really, you can't write this stuff. This is really a symbolic picture of the black man's plight in America, with the white man with his foot, elbow, knee on a black man's neck or back or stomach. And it reached a point to where it's like the parallel universe in a sense. You know, one is trying to be just or just exercise their right just to live. One has a counter motive who is frightened, threatened, and pure hatred of the man's existence. So they're traveling down the course. And then I don't want to say murky waters. I have to use a better term. Okay, let's put it like this. During both of their travels, right, there's a lot of obstacles in the way. You know, you sense that other person is there. You see the racism within the system. You see it in the justice system. You see it just going to the store where you'll see, we all saw the shows where a black person get on the elevator, white person walks out, black person gets out of his car, and you hear the door locks, blam, 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 blam. Black person walking, white woman clutches her purse, and you saw the Birth of a Nation where they would wear the black face, and they actually created that negative stereotype towards black people. All this. But as you're walking along your path, as you're walking along the course of life, right, all these obstacles, you some is visible, some that you can't see, but you know it's there. Then Corona hit, COVID-19 hit, right? Everybody in the house, the streets are clear. There's nothing in the way. The traffic is not like it's normally be during the workday rush hour, right? And all of a sudden, bam. First, Ahmaud Arbery. See him gunned down. 2 white men, father and son, the McMichaels, right? Then you hear about Breonna Taylor, right? But now, just remember, Eric Gardner and Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, and countless others. Philandro Castile. It's still it's in the back of your mind, and it's not being solved, and you're putting your faith in the system, and you saying, okay, hey man, they're gonna straighten this thing out, man. This can't be. Look, I'm looking around here. We had a black president, we had a black attorney general. We had, we got black mayors, What's this thing we gotta straighten out, Damn, you mean to tell me what's the purpose of holding these high positions, district attorneys and whatnot, if you can't solve this race problem? So the fate was put in the city officials, county officials, state legislative, the higher ups, preachers, pastors, and whatnot, fate was put in them. Okay, let's straighten this thing out, right? Then, bam, gruesome image of white officer knee on black man's neck till he died. And what that symbolizes and what it sent through the whole black community is, now this is the face. This is America. It has always been, but will it always be? That right there was the question, or is the question. That symbolic picture. I mean, because it had to be so horrific to where it caught every nationality, every race on this planet attention. And it was like, wow, now we get it. Now we get it. It's so much hatred and some racist, white supremacists that's in position of authority to where that man can put his hand in his pocket and take a knee on this man's neck until he was dead, as though his life meant nothing. Life was less than a dog's. And the people was like, wow, right. COVID-19, coronavirus, it didn't matter. That mask on, mask off, folks hit the streets. Then the rioting started. The looting started. The damaging of property started. Right. And then look, I gotta say that. I know for you celebrities out there who have a big name. See, a lot of people y'all don't understand what a big name gives you. Because you gotta play ball with everybody when you have a big name, especially, you're a celebrity. So the city officials got to go to the celebrity and say, look, we've been there for you when you needed this, and we gave you this arena, and we let you put on this block party, and they're going to remind you of what they did for you. We need you to come out on the air and tell your people to stop the violence, stop the rioting, stop the looting, stop the damaging of property. Don't set fire to anything. You get out there and clean this thing up, right? They get out there and they say some things, but then they start losing fans because they're like, look, we heard that before. We heard the same Negro similar as you come out with the same plea during Eric Gardner, during Mike Brown and Ferguson. And if what you're saying would have worked back then when they sent you out there to give your song and dance speech, then we wouldn't be here today. So they're like, no, you can go somewhere else with that one, buddy. This has to be done. That way, when we build from these ashes, it's a reminder, stop the racism and the police brutality, because we crying out that we just can't take it no more. Society cannot march forward in the annals of time carrying this huge gorilla on America's back called racism. It's not happening, right? Now, we got a perfect opportunity, which we should have done, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 years ago, at least 20 years ago. And that is, if you in a black community, right? Because wait, let me say this first. There's two messages, black people, y'all got to realize. There's two messages that's always being spoken. One is a message to black people with money. Then there's another message that goes out to black people that's in poverty. Now, black people that's in poverty, look, they're saying, hey, you get your pie in the sky if you did. Give your money to your pastor. Don't worry about acquiring anything while you're alive, because when you get to heaven, God is going to provide everything for you when you get to heaven, and that's when you're going to live out your best life. If you still fall for that in 2020, it's not my job to change your mind, because in this society, maybe that's the only thing that's keeping you together. So, I don't know. Maybe, if there's any kind of way when you cross over to the other side, let me know if the streets really is paved with gold. Let me know if there's a cow that can give you milk in one udder and honey out the other. I don't know. Hey, it might be, but kind of, look, this is a radio show. Our mind functions as waves. We can pick up on thoughts. So I tell you what, just send that energy. We'll pick up on it. We'll relate it on the air that somebody touched down in the heaven and they walking on streets paved with gold and this milk and honey flowing everywhere. Like Dr. Collins said, well, here, that's a laxative, but, we'll see. But for those of us that's still around, that's here right now, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, we should have been owning whole blocks in the black community. If you're not talking about economic power, after this incident with the COVID-19, along with the rioting and the looting and the frustration, then you're putting yourself back in a position to recreate these scenarios all over again. And that would be a shame. Look, I'm going to give you an example. Let me give you an example. Because we all done it before. Because, first of all, look, if you black in America, only a few black people in America came from families who was prospering during slavery time. The rest of everybody else, whether you was a black Native American or whether you was black that was drugged over here from Africa, they enslaved everybody, right? And you came up out of that slavery, and you put an idea together. Some built family-owned businesses. Some got success from working for others. Some got successful for working for themselves. I mean, it's but the point I'm making is we basically started from the same position. So when I be hearing people talking about you not down if you don't do this, or you not black if you didn't share this experience. Yeah, if you black in America, you didn't start off with a silver spoon in your mouth. Your grandparents may have made your life a little comfortable from what they blood, sweat, and tears did in their time, but majority of black folk in America didn't get their beginnings or started off rich. So we all came from the hood, Now, since the earth belongs to the black man, you live where you want to live, but you create your peace and heaven on earth right where you at. Right. But now to combat, okay, let me finish the example, right? So we all come from the hood, right? But yet we got to travel downtown or different areas to go to work, or we seeking employment or whatnot, right? So you leave your all black community. But you gotta go downtown or different areas to get you a job. Why aren't these jobs in your neighborhood? Well, one reason is that these leaders and preachers and city officials, although they've been ciphering money out of the community for 50, 60, 70 years, at least 20 years, right? They didn't save and put that money back into the community to open a plant or barter with, let's say, Amazon. And look, well, let's go have an Amazon plant and let's plant that right here in this neighborhood so people don't have to travel so far to, make some money, right? Because what's the experience? In your neighborhood, you see mostly black and brown. Travel outside your neighborhood, you want to stop at a store, get you some Gatorade. Now you got to deal with the racism. You gotta hear. The negative connotations when it's being hurled at you. You understand what they're saying. But hey, you gotta drag yourself on out in society to create yourself a life for yourself and your family. Because why? The generation before you didn't secure none of that. They didn't secure, they didn't make sure you had money, good homes, and friendships in all walks of life. That didn't happen, So you got to get out here in this society. You got to deal with the racism. You got to deal with all the unjust police, because they want to know you traveling home. They pull you over. What you doing in this neighborhood? You like, damn, man, I'm coming home from work. Let me see your ID. You give them the ID. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right. They want to see if you got any warrants or any priors, or if you've been arrested or anything. They got to do that first, right? He looking for a reason. Come back is clean. Okay, step out of the car. They like, well, what you put me over for? What I got? Are you resisting arrest? It's like, nah, but I want to know why you bothering me. Why are you bothering me? Okay, what you want? Search through your car, tear your seats up and whatnot. Trying to find just something on you, right? And couldn't find anything. He gone. Cop drive off. You still sitting there, car out, towed up. And you like, man, I just want to leave my house, go to work, eat lunch, and come home and spend time with my family. But okay. You steady poking the bear, though. You steady poking the bear, steady poking the bear, Harassment. And the human being mind, it goes in the subconscious. You creating a PTSD, whether you know it or not, and you steady harassing. And the sad part about it is I'm a man. I have my lady. I have to come home knowing that, or feeling defeated by another man simply because he don't like the color of my skin. But I gotta take this shit though, because if I lash out, he got the badge and the gun to shoot me. It's like, man, what I do? What do I do? Who do I turn to? I'm feeling this rage. So then you might turn to, let's say your pastor, or someone, or your alderman or somebody. And they say, well, it's America. But one thing you got to remember, we all got to learn how to get along. We got to learn how to love one another's. That's the only way this thing is gonna work. So cheer up and get back out there and give it the good fight. And you more confused. You like, what? Yeah, whatever. Okay, man. Okay, yeah. But the problem is you wondering, look, you telling me to get along when I don't have no problem with that man. I just want to go to work and come home. But look here, Pastor. Why don't you give that speech to the racists? Why don't you have a whole congregation, nothing but white racists, and you get up there and teach them how to love black people? Why you always gotta try to teach black people how to accept and turn the other cheek and show white folks love when it's not being reciprocated? See, all of this with George Floyd is bringing it out. It's George Floyd, the human being who his family knows and loves and respect. And then there's George Floyd, the representative of the utmost police brutality that anybody has ever seen. Right? But it's a reflection, just like you make, put it like this, George Floyd represents black men around the world because it can easily happen to you. So the response is, what do we do? What do we do coming out of this incident and with this COVID-19? Because the protesters are sending out a message that we're not taking no more. We won't reform. We won't reform. That was the last straw. And so you can't control a person when they're acting out of desperation, because that energy of desperation with a tinge of fear mixed up and it bursts out on the scene, there's nothing you can do about it. You can give all the speeches and they wondering why you ain't out riding. They wondering why you not out here protesting in the matter in which they're protesting. It's like, I know it's hard, man. I know it's hard. But when they come and ask you to step in front of the people and say, we want peace for the Floyd family. We want a peaceful protest and a peaceful march. It's kind of like an oxymoron in a sense, because how can you have a peaceful march when there has been no peace amongst black people? That's some black folks don't even know what peace look like, and you saying be peaceful. How you peaceful when cops always got their foot, knee, or elbow on your neck and you telling them to get up and be peaceful now? It's like, man, you turning me into an angry individual. I wasn't born angry. I was born laughing, smiling, like babies do. Then all of a sudden, the mistreatment, the stares, the glares, the comments, the hits, making me spend unnecessary money with pulling me over falsely and then making a joke and, come on, okay. And then you come out in the public and say, we want a peaceful protest during heck, they wanted all the incidents that occurred amongst black men in particular, or black and brown men in particular. And the shootings of unarmed black and brown men, Eric Gardner, wasn't nothing peaceful about that. How you gonna, what they're saying is, how can I give a peaceful solution or a peaceful reply to something so heinous. They made the definition or the term fight fire with fire. They made that a reality. The people don't act out and ride, and especially going down to Melrose and rich areas, breaking out windows, and because they used to say, well, you burn up your own neighborhood. They said, okay, well, to get your attention, maybe we burn up other neighborhoods. Maybe that might work, but something has to work. This is a plea. It's a plea. You got to let it die. It's like herd immunity. You got to let it die on its own, and the law officials can't take it as though it's us against them. That's the mindset that got us to this place in the first place. Well, that us against them, the blue wall of silence, because why, man, I'm going to tell y'all why. Because if you grew up in any hood, USA, you done seen and dealt with some cricket officers undercover that's out here doing dirt. They know, and they, you know what I mean? And then you turn around and say, hey, respect the badge. Everybody knows what's going on. So stop all that. Everybody knows the corruption. Everybody knows who got pulled over and got their money took, but they let them go. Or everybody knows that, okay, yeah, you pulled me over. You didn't catch me with no dope or nothing, but you caught me with some money, and the officer took the money. And they gone, right? Okay. So, but you want the same respect as a clean cop, and it don't work like that. Is all I'm saying. So when you come on the scene yelling and everybody get in line and people disrespecting you, that's because once you disrespect the badge, come on, man, it's over with. That fear is gone. That respect is gone. So once again, coming up out of this COVID-19 pandemic, right? Black business men, along with church leaders and leaders, you mean to tell me we can't unite long enough to open up a business and make some money and hire people in the community? Well, we owning the plants and the whole. It's enough. The church is raising enough money over the years. There's enough money to do it. Hell, if you take that helicopter and that jet money and buy a plant and hire your people, you'll be more respected. Economic development, that's what the people want. Black men, we gotta open up. See, oh man, it's just the subject is so heavy, but I'm gonna touch bases on it just a little bit longer, and we're gonna ride out of here, right? But look, in your neighborhood, right? Your woman, I'm talking about the black man or the black woman, right? She has to leave her community to go to another's community for employment. And she's looking at the black man like, damn, man, where your factories? Where's your stores? Why I gotta go, why I can't get hired in my own community, and get paid a better wage than what they paying me, right? Y'all can't unite, put your money together and build, because they tired of seeing the same faces on the cameras with the same speeches, but not building anything in the community that they can tangibly see, and it's not a, how can I say this? It's not a ego race or Not about somebody's feelings and or what they think should be done. Nah, it's not about none of that. None of that. It's about what do we need, or what do I need to bring, or what do you want in order for us to build something for ourselves and hire our own. That should have been solved overnight. Till we as black people solve that issue, all the rest of it is like, it's just up in the wind, man. We doing what we got to do, what we can do until we come to some type of solution or agreement to better our neighborhoods and our community. Other than that, if you're not talking economic gains in a capitalistic society, you got to find room to throw that in there somewhere to where the people can stand on their own and stop giving the mixed messages to where you got one message for black people that has money and one message for black people that's in poverty. How each one will teach one. How can one person bring another one up if it's not being practiced? Each one teach one. We got to put all that in practice. But the rioting and the looting and the burning and the loss of property and that's a visual image of inner hurt and pain. You looking at inner hurt and pain when you looking at what's happening in a lot of these streets in America. You're getting a visual of it. You couldn't see, you couldn't see the words when people were saying, hey, or they call it the quiet whisper. When people were saying, hey, you're going too far, stop the killings, hey, we got to come to these meetings and let's work with the police department. And police, y'all got to tell us what y'all plan to do to stop the racist cops within your unit and address that. Because mainly it's been about how black folks have to deal with it and get over it and, stop whining and pull yourself up by your bootstraps and all these connotations, But then when it hit the fan, it really hit the fan. Verbal Pick Radio, we're out.